Welcome to Hot Stock Pick of the Week. I'm Adam Lass. Last week I noted in a special white paper that there was far more opportunity playing gold's relative motion than its ostensible value. The past few days have offered a perfect illustration of my point. Keep in mind that as I sat to type my missive on February 28, the former head of the world's most important bank had warned of a significant increase of the risk of recession. Global markets were in chaos, and here in the U.S. we had just witnessed the single most formidable single-day correction since September 11th, 2001. We're talking about the sort of situation that gold bugs dream about, when the price of the precious metal that so many claim to be the ultimate safe haven, and by extension the companies that mine it, should have been climbing like a cat chased by a pack of maddened hounds. But the reality was nothing like the fantasy. The Philadelphia Gold and Silver Index had been climbing almost non-stop for most of 2007, gaining $19 and almost 15% between January 10 and Feb 26. On February 27th, the XAU gapped down 4 points at the open and never looked back. Instead of lining gold owners' pockets, the index robbed their wallets some 13% in 4 straight trading days. Not only was this loss predictable, it was an opportunity to make significant gains. Specifically, I warned that this drop was part of a regular cycle within the XAU's trading pattern and recommended that readers purchase either XAU May 137.50 puts or June 135 puts. The May contracts were available on March 1 for $7.70 and are currently trading for around $11.80, a gain of 53%. The June contract has also climbed appreciably, gaining some 58% over the past few days. If you chose to hedge this latter contract with 8 shares of the XAU, then you lost some $32 compared to a cash gain on your options of $420. And if you are indeed still a gold buck, well, then you have 8 more shares to put in your hope chest. In fact, I have good news and better. Those shares are all, and in all likelihood, about to gain back all of that loss and then some, because within the next 3 trading days, the XAU will commence its next cyclic upstroke, probably rising back to the top of its recent trading range at or around 144, and possibly moving back to its recent high of 148. Please understand that I mean this to be both a tutorial and a recommendation. So if these prices, which admittedly move quite quickly, are not spot on by the time you hear this, you will still be equipped to make gains off this move. Begin by setting aside your XAU shares for now. You can always sell them at the top of the next rise, or use them as a hedge come the next downstroke, or simply hold them long term against the index's steady annual gain. Then sell your XAU puts immediately for gain. Now it's time to search out the perfect call contract for riding the upstroke. I begin by selecting an option series with more than 30 days to run, as I absolutely despise watching time decay ruin an otherwise sound play. Right now that means May contracts. Next, I look to see what is at or just in the money. That is to say that the call options strike price should either match or come just above or below the XAU's current strike price. Last I looked, that was about 132. In this case, the XAU May 132.50s suit the bill well. Next, we check the delta. That's the figure that describes how the contract ought to move in relation to the XAU itself. In this case, we are looking at a delta of about 42. That's 0.42. So we can presume that a $12 rise in the XAU will add about $5 to these calls, offering traders a gain of approximately 56%. Now, slick traders might choose to protect this play with either cheap puts or by short selling XAU shares. Both these tactics are unnecessarily complex. Instead, I suggest simply keeping a 30% trailing stop on your own books and moving it up as these calls gain in value to assure that you lock in all gains. Again, let me point out that this methodology of cashing in on this asset's regular clock-like motion can be deployed anywhere from 12 to 24 times a year for reliable gains of between 20 and 70% per effort and with relatively little risk. To read my financial news research report, go to www.taipanfinancialnews.com and look under the Hot Stock Pick of the Week section on the homepage. I'm Adam Lass, and that's your Hot Stock Pick of the Week.